One night, it was March 12th, 2014, at 3:36 in the morning, I just woke up with this strong voice in my head that said, you need to take over older distressed motels and turn them into transitional housing. I was like, really? What do I do with that? I wasn't looking to do that. That morning, I got up and started making phone calls. So I wrote the business plan. I found a motel, and a year later, we opened up. My name is Lori Barlow, and I'm the founder and executive director of ANEW Living. I think we have a solution. We have our emergency family room. We took over the motel, the whole entire property, and we've turned it into a transitional housing facility. The Motel 66 off Route 66, you can't get it better than that.
I know it.
It's for homeless individuals who are working or have a fixed income. Our goal for all of them is to figure out what they need to then transition into permanent housing and stay there. The mix of residents that we have here is very diverse.
So do you want to get together today then?
From veterans to single moms to married couples to younger adults in their 20s that are recovering from a substance or alcohol abuse. There's not just one group of people that are experiencing this issue. We accept them all to come here.
We've been here for a little over a year. The rent is a little bit, it's cheaper than what you would find nowhere in town that we would be able to stay at this price. So it allows me to be able to still go to school and have a job and pay that and, continue to move forward. I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of stupid stuff. We used to drink excessively.
We would stay at the shelter, but then we get fed up and just take off for a week or two at a time and post up in places like this. The woods here, under bridges in different places. That's one of the ones of choice. That's got the most alcohol content. We slept here numerous nights. Slept here, and we made our life here. We slept in this tube in here. We slept in this gully right here. We slept over here. But it's a drainage area, but it's close proximity to a store that we could get our alcohol at and try to get something to eat once in a while. Going from living like this to having a roof over our head and be able to cook and shower every day and have a safe place. A little different from where we're living now. Come a long way in 1 year.
Monthly rent is $600 for a single room. And that's compared to if you were staying at a motel room in the area, the cheapest is over $1,000. Where $600 may seem high, that's all utilities included. It may be higher than they'd like, but if they can't afford the $600 a month, they're probably never going to be able to afford permanent housing even on a subsidized level.
Okay. My name is Dawn. I'm living here for the last several months with my 2 children. I have a teenager and a 5-year-old son. It's difficult. It's very difficult. We've changed our standard of living quite a bit.
Kind of making boundaries for a teenager.
It's difficult for the teenager because there's a lack of space, and boundaries are, harder with a smaller brother around. You don't get the privacy, but we're grateful for what we do have. We utilize a microwave, and we've learned to try to cook in a microwave instead of a stove. And we go down to Sunshine Rescue Mission. They've been great down there. They provide family meals at night. My husband had left me. We're separated. He had left me in the hospital when the baby was born and never came back to pick us up. 6 weeks later, I was laid off from teaching. We had to sell a house entirely paid for. This is how we ended up where we are. We've fallen through the cracks completely. I miss my home, our space. My children had beautiful rooms, their own rooms.
The biggest challenge, especially when we first took over, is create a safe environment for everyone. We're right on Route 66, and there's a lot of foot traffic. And this motel, before we took over, had a lot of drug and alcohol activity here. One of the families that was living here, they had a 6-year-old daughter, and they were in this room actually that we're in now. And one night a gentleman came through this back window and just crawled in through the window looking for his drug dealer and drugs, and stepped on their 6-year-old's bed. And of course they chased him out, and that was really scary for them.
The hamburgers were compliments of the food bank.
All the residents now, they're their own neighborhood watch. That's where the sense of community and building the community was really important.
Yeah, I'm doing my dishes. We don't have a 2 sinks to do them in, so I do them in the bathtub with a couple tubs.
If it wasn't for Lori and this New Living, this program would probably be out in the streets. We wouldn't have a roof over our heads. I'm bipolar. I got PTSD.
You gotta paint the 7 on there. You have a 3 at all.
Yeah, I had to go out and panhandle just to survive.
In the past motel rooms, we didn't have no stove.
I served my country. You know, my son gave his life for this country. And yes, it was embarrassing for me to go out there and ask for help. I was working a part-time job, but with my health and stuff, I'm not able to do that now. You know, around here I do a little painting here and there to help, you know, with the rent and stuff. My girlfriend, she works real hard. She works 5 days a week at Denny's as a server.
Oh, I see it. I found it.
We scrape by, but we get by now. It's a lot better now. I have my good days and my bad days, but just knowing that we have a place over our heads now, and we don't have to worry about being homeless, and we got food in the refrigerator. It's a big relief for me.
To the normal person, it might not look like much, but it's home for us.
They all have a different story.
Come on, Willis.
I mean, they all have a commonality where they were homeless, working poor, homeless. They all have different reasons why they got there and what their background is. And they all are just looking for just a little bit better life. On March 12th, 2014 at 3:46 in the morning, I woke up from a dead sleep with a very clear voice that said, you need to take over distressed older motels and turn them into transitional housing. I thought, no, that seems really hard and really different than what I knew how to do. But first thing in the morning, I woke up and I thought, okay, I had this message. It was pretty clear, and it was powerful enough that I felt like I can't ignore it. We have a lot of people living in a motel setting. It's hard for that working class, if they're living in a motel room, to ever get ahead because they're spending so much on just a motel room. We're not an apartment, we're not a shelter, but our program is to help people that want to move up and out and into permanent housing. And so the maximum length of stay is 2 years. Our goal, though, is to get them into permanent housing in 6 months. This main building was built in 1950. The evidence of it was that very little was done to maintain it over the years, and so there was just a lot of work to bring it up to just being safe. It was strange. In our first town hall meeting that we had, was explaining to them what our goals were, and all of a sudden hands started being like, oh, I'm in construction. Oh, I do electrical work, just one at a time. And it was just really amazing to see that. I was very unprepared for that. And they just show up. When we do a project, when we've got something that looks like it needs a little bit of manpower work, they just, hey, I'm not working today, I can help you. And that happens every time. It's been great. We have a couple of residents that are really great cooks, and they love preparing food. Year-round, we have barbecues, get everybody out and just communicating with each other and having a good time. They feel like this is part of them, and they've really just built a sense of community amongst themselves. It's great. Back in my planning, I wanted to come up with a word or a title that would really represent what we are here. The word ANEW. I searched it on the internet, and one of the definitions I found was something different, typically better. And I thought, how perfect. We're not the Taj Mahal. We are something very different, and for most people that live here, typically better than they had before.